So this afternoon I'm at the beautiful hotel overlooking the Olympic Park, and I'm not with an Olympic athlete, I'm with an Olympian in a different world. Yeah. So your property financial specialist, Piragash Sivanesan from Totum Finance. I referred to Piragash in a previous video as the 12 billion transaction man. So amazing numbers Piragash has got over the last 15 years of being in corporate boardrooms with FTSE 500, is that right?
FTSE 100.
FTSE 100, so 100 to 250. So Piragash, you're here right now in a melting pot of one of the most exciting times in the property world, and property finance has to be core of it. So where do you think the market's going to be? What do you think? You were mentioning about technology earlier to me.
Yeah, I think if we look at the tech world at the moment, especially the London tech world, fintech, i.e. anything technology based to do with banking, is slowly infiltrating and it's making changes. People consider about contactless cards, people think about crowdfunding perhaps. It's really technology that's facilitated that. However, over the medium term, I think some of the biggest changes we're going to see, not just in finance but across society, is kind of AI, where computers are going to start to be able to make much better decisions over credit, over what options you have. Brokers like us exist in many ways because of imperfect information, but also our experience and our ability to kind of structure things. I think lending organisations are not going to look anything like they do today. I think they're going to be much leaner. I think it's going to be all about kind of use of capital than it is about having underwriters kind of make individual decisions. And people will compete for your capital in very different ways, I think, once technology kind of plays out over the next 10 to 20 years, but a long way into the future, perhaps.
That's absolutely fascinating, but how can it help an investor? What should they be doing with crowdfunding, alternative lending? And I had a discussion earlier with someone else. I wonder, will we actually call crowdfunding stroke peer-to-peer lending, or P2P? Will we actually be calling that in 5 years' time alternative lending, or would that be so mainstream that people just see it as I don't want to use the word alternative, but people just see it as commonplace? So do you think investors should be making more relationships with crowdfunding, peer-to-peer lenders? What should investors be doing with the alternative funding circles right now?
I mean, I'm not an advisor as such, but what I would be saying is to any investor, to any borrower really, is understand your options. Of course, I'm going to say speak to your broker. Because often they are the people that spend all their day understanding all of the different options and will be able to better educate you. But if you are a business person, if you are a property investor, you should certainly never be putting all your eggs in one basket. People can see what happened during the previous financial crises. Crowdfunding is a solution. People should understand how they can access it. The great thing about crowdfunding is, you can experiment. You can put in £10 and understand how the thing works. It is a small amount of your time, but the benefit is pretty huge. So I think the critical thing is, whenever you're making a decision, whether it be an investment decision or any other business-based decision, it's so important to understand all the different options.
And it's important to understand the terminology as well in terms of crowdfunding stroke to peer-to-peer. It's not the purpose of this video to explain what the difference between crowdfunding stroke to peer-to-peer is, but there's key wording such as secondary market. Do you want to just explain to people what a secondary market means in terms of...
Yeah, I mean, the secondary market is very, very, very basic. Is if you have a primary product, even let's say a brand new car. Let's talk about cars. A brand new car, when BMW makes the car and sells that directly to you, that's a primary sale. But afterwards, after a year or 6 months, when actually that Z4 sports car no longer fits the family and you've got to sell it on, you need to sell it into a secondary market. So peer-to-peer is very much the same thing. You have just like the stock market, when a company IPOs, it's the first time they raise shares, they get the funds, but once you own the shares, it's really important, and what secondary market is really linked to is liquidity. So what we mean by that is, if you hold a share or if you hold an investment or a borrowing or a loan within a crowdfunding or a share within within one of these platforms, the key thing is, what is it worth today and what is it worth to someone if you were to sell it? And that's all the secondary market means. It means your ability to then sell on. And as the crowdfunding platforms mature, there will be more of a secondary market. And what that means is that when you make that decision today to get into a deal within the crowdfunding platform, depending on whatever platform, you tend to be in it for the whole of the duration. Whereas as more and more people come in and there's more of a secondary market, of course, it just means you're going to have more options. And what does that really mean? Why is that so important? It means that in the first place, you're going to have more people take more risk because they know actually if it all goes pear-shaped tomorrow, they can still sell out. Whereas if they know they're going to have to be in for 5 years, of course, or 18 months, it makes it a little bit less liquid and it's harder to get funding. So that's what the secondary market means. It's being able to sell something that you've primarily bought into somebody else. The reason why it's important is because it brings liquidity.
So, if you want to join us, a few different ways. First of all, you can find myself on Twitter at Brendan_Quinn UK. Of course, you find me through the regular social media channels as well, such as Facebook and LinkedIn. How can you connect with Piragash though? Through my live morning event, the Central London Property Me. Alternatively, you can connect with Piragash at the literally online via www.totumfinance.com or literally live events, as I say, or social media, Facebook or LinkedIn. So really thank you for listening to this. And if you've got a specific question you want Piragash to answer and you think it's going to be interesting for us to share to the wider community, let us know. Thank you.
Thank you.